Alright, I promised this a while back, and finally, I'm joined here by my kid brother, and we'll share the story of where, do you know what the gangbang is, came from. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
It's a me,
Dario.
Woohoo! Let's go!
Alright, so before we get into it, let me just give you a quick reminder and get this out of the way that you can listen to the podcast anywhere. SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, Podcast Addict, Google Podcast, everywhere. You can listen to it as Super Dario World Podcast. You can also follow me on Instagram, Dario the Show, or at Super Dario World. You can also follow me on Facebook, Super Dario World. Any comments, questions, suggestions, you can find me right there. And okay, alright, let's get into it because we're going to go through the whole thing. Like this, the do you know what the gangbang is story came from the trip that I had to Europe with my kid brother. By the way, he's joining me here. Eric, say hi.
Hello.
Alright, the only thing you need to know from Eric... Actually, you know what? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Tell you about myself? You know a lot about me. We live together.
That's all you need to know about this idiot.
What do you want to know? What do you want to know?
What did they want to know? Just say...
Who's
it? No, tell us who you are.
It doesn't matter who you are!
I don't get paid enough for this.
Yes!
I don't get paid enough for this.
Yes!
I moved the couch for this?
Yes. That felt so good. I've always wanted to do that to somebody. I'm going to try to have every single guest that I have here like dropped out at least once. That was great. That felt great. I understand why The Rock does it.
I understand why nobody comes back to the show.
Anyway, this is my kid brother Eric, and we went to we did a trip across Europe. Well, how long ago was it?
2 years, I want to say?
No, it wasn't 2 years ago. 2 years ago we went to Japan.
Was
like
Japan
4.
2 years ago already?
Yeah, it was like, you literally we were having a conversation like 20 minutes ago where you said, yeah, every 2 years I want to go to Japan, and 2020 is the year that you're going to go to Japan again.
So a year ago was 2018, which
Yeah.
I was in Japan, and
we went in January, and we went at the end of the year, so it was like almost 2 years ago to the day. Like we left on the 28th.
so when did we go to Europe?
Like I think 4 or 5 years ago.
Was I 19?
I don't know. The point is, my kid brother is a bit of an idiot. So,
I
but he's joining
tend
me
to forget
here.
a lot of
He was
things.
there, and he's gonna keep me. He's gonna try to keep me honest. Apparently, it's not working so hard because his memory sucks. But
And it's impossible to keep him honest.
You son of a bitch!
We have the same mother.
I try to be. So again, keeping me honest.
Yep. Yeah, I can confirm. Yeah.
I really hope she doesn't hear this one.
Never.
Anyway, so about let's say 4 or 5 years ago, we went to Europe, and that's when that happened. So we're gonna tell you the story of the whole thing, the whole fucking trip, and how it went down.
God
So,
damn.
yeah. So first off, how it came to be that you went with me. So originally, I was supposed to go with my friends, and then my friends flaked because they're a bunch of bitches.
Your friends are pussies.
Yes, they are. And so I decided, you know what? Screw it. I'll just go by myself. I've never been to Europe. I'm what, 24, 23, 24? I've never been to Europe. No, well, I'm way older. But how? All right, so you're 7 years younger than me. So if you were 19, I was like 26.
Yeah.
26, and I'm like, I've never been to Europe, so I want to go by myself.
I was already making jokes on your age at that point.
You son of a bitch. Yeah. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to go to Europe, and I'll just go by myself. I don't care. I've traveled to other places before. It's fine. I have fun. I meet people there. I'm a sociable guy. It doesn't matter. Also, when you have a drink in hand, everybody seems to like you. So it's fine, usually.
And also, like, nobody speaks English that fluently anyway, so if you're drunk,
Exactly.
same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was planning to go by myself, and my mom was like, no, Dario, you can't go by yourself. It's dangerous out there. Like, take your kid brother. And Eric was like, Ma, I'm broke. Like, I don't have money. And she's like, don't worry, we'll pay for you. I was like, son of a bitch! Why don't you pay for me?
And I mean, I was like, oh no, I have a free trip to Europe?
Twist my arm, why don't you?
God damn.
And still, she had to beg you for it. She
Well,
still
of
had
course,
to beg you for it.
I had to negotiate. I had to put up the front.
You son of a bitch.
That's how I get things.
So we finally, so my mom convinces him to go, and I'm like, all right, whatever, I don't care. I mean, if you could have paid for stuff for me too, but whatever, fine.
It's not like I didn't buy you shit.
What did you buy me?
I don't know, like drink sometime. I don't know.
That's not how that works.
I bought the wings in Switzerland.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Thank you.
It was Hooters.
Thank
it was
you.
expensive.
All right. Fine.
Everything in Switzerland is expensive.
Before we get to that, we'll get to that. Okay.
All right.
So it's decided we're gonna go together. And we start planning out the trip. Like, where do we want to go? We found like some really cheap flights, and it's like, all right, let's go here, let's go here. And it turns out that on a 2-week trip, we wanted to go to like 14 different places.
It was too many.
It was too many. So we cut it down, and we ended up deciding on going to Copenhagen in Denmark. Copenhagen. Then taking the train to Berlin. Then from there, taking the train to Switzerland, to Frankfurt. No, not Frankfurt. What's the capital of Switzerland?
Munich? No, it's
Zurich. Zurich. And then going back to Amsterdam.
Yeah, we went up to Amsterdam. And
then finishing it out in London. So that was kind of the trip, right? Am I missing anything?
I think originally we wanted to add Poland, but it was just too far out of the way.
Too far out of the way. So that was our trip. And so we got these tickets months in advance. And I mean months in advance. And for those few months, I kept telling Eric, dude, try to research the places that we're going to, figure out what you want to do.
I didn't do jack shit of that.
Do jack fucking shit.
Look,
jack fucking shit.
Look, you see how how excited he gets? I'm really laid back. I just go where the wind takes me, bro.
So I'm trying to plan this trip, and when I'm adding things, I'm like, all right, okay, I want to do this with this, but I want to add, you know what? What's gonna make the little guy happy? You know what is he gonna enjoy? So I ask him, hey, what do you want to do? That? Have you done research?
I'm taller, by the way,
but he's still a little bitch. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I'm trying to like add things that I think he's gonna enjoy, because I can't just do all the things that I want all the time, because then he's gonna like not have fun, and to me that's not fair. So I try to add stuff for him, and he doesn't give me anything. And he doesn't give me anything.
We did everything you wanted.
I know, but it's still like we were supposed to like do research and.
When did I say no to anything you wanted to do?
We'll get to that. We will get to that. No, we will get to that. Don't jump. We'll get to that. Okay.
Scooby Doo.
Anyway, so we got the thing together. We planned out everything, and by we I mean I planned out everything. Got the train tickets, got everything. We were ready to go, and. First little like snitch in our plan. In order to get the cheapest flights, we got the most complicated route ever. We flew from San Diego to New York, from New York to Boston, from Boston to Reykjavik in Iceland, and then from Iceland to Copenhagen.
Didn't we go to Boston first and then New York?
Either way, one of those two.
We stayed in Boston for like a day.
On the way back, we stayed one night in Boston.
Beautiful city.
It's a beautiful city. No, and so. I remember it was like a day of travel, and this little son of a bitch doesn't sleep on planes.
It's not my fucking fault.
He does not sleep on planes. So when we're at the airport in New York, he's like, "All right, I gotta sleep on the ground here or something." And I remember we went to McDonald's. I got a sausage McMuffin, and they gave me a bacon McMuffin. I was very upset.
No, it was a Wendy's. It was a Wendy's.
I was a Wendy's, son of a bitch.
That's why you won't do Wendy's anymore.
That's right. Thank you. So I was upset by that, and I slept on the flight. I can sleep anywhere. I don't care.
He's a fucking asshole.
Yeah, but he's complaining the entire time because he's tired.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, whenever we get to like an airport, I'm gonna have to lay down.
Yeah. Then when we fly to Boston, and at Boston, we're like, you know what? Let's go check out Harvard. We've never been to Harvard. Let's go check out.
We're
Harvard.
never gonna make it into Harvard, so you know.
Yeah, and we have like a 6-hour, delay, or no, 6-hour down period.
Yeah.
So
that's a big.
So, and we had carry-ons with us, and so we only did carry-ons. So we stop at Boston, we go check out Harvard. Then we go to a pizza place nearby, like, all right, this is where all the Harvard people hang out. Ironically, one of my kid brother's best friends goes to MIT there, and the time that we were there, that idiot wasn't there, so...
Yeah, he traveled to San Diego.
Yeah, that fucker. Anyway, so... As we're moving on, we're at this restaurant, and this idiot is falling asleep at the restaurant. Like, oh, you're such a great companion. Like, why? Great conversations here, bro. Anyway,
like you're great at picking plane rides.
We fly to Reykjavik, which is in Iceland, and let me tell you something about Reykjavik. We only saw the airport, but those are the nicest toilets I've ever seen in my life.
They were awesome.
Right?
They were entire rooms.
Yeah.
You had your own like sink in there. It was great.
It was great. Honestly, it's the most impressive fucking restroom I've seen in my life. The nicest. The airport of Reykjavik, if you're ever there, go check it out.
But don't go there before it officially opens because there's nothing to eat.
No, there's only beautiful women walking around who work there.
It's hell.
It's hell on earth. It's hell on earth.
Hey, I was hungry.
And you were also trying to fall asleep at the airport. Anyway.
Hey, I stayed awake for the blondes.
Of course, obviously. You're not that big of an idiot.
Yeah.
Anyway, so from there, we finally fly to Copenhagen. We arrive at Copenhagen, and it's an interesting place.
Yeah, they serve hot coffee in glass cups. It's bad.
Yeah.
They shouldn't do that, and they should feel ashamed of themselves.
That should be a film. All right. It's an interesting place. Everybody rides a bicycle there.
And they don't use a lock.
Yeah, it's really weird. As a Mexican, that's really weird.
I wanted to steal it and just had a principle alone.
Just to teach them a lesson.
Yeah.
Like, everybody just leaves their bikes everywhere, and they get on the train, and they just leave the bike there unlocked all day. Like, seriously. Like,
what if someone takes it by mistake?
What if somebody just doesn't really want to walk and takes it?
I didn't want to walk.
No, I didn't either. It was really, honestly, it was very difficult.
I hadn't slept.
But it's a very safe place. It's a very expensive place, too.
Very beautiful.
Very beautiful.
Very majestic.
We find our hostel, we leave our stuff, and we go out exploring. Exploring, right? We go out on the town.
Beautiful place.
Yeah. And so we go out, and it's there's a bar, like, right at the corner there. We sit down there, and they have a special. And it's like 4 shots for like, what, $5? I don't know.
No, dude. It was like 5 shots for each.
Oh, yeah.
It was a tray of different types of alcohol as well.
But how much was it?
It was free for us. I do remember that.
No. That was afterwards.
First we got like the obligatory, let's get some shots to, get this party going.
Yeah. And it turns out that it was a tray of shots. But it was still really cheap. I don't remember how much it was, but it was really cheap. And we got a table, and we were pounding the back. Yeah. And then the waitress comes up to us, and she's like, "Hey guys, I'm sorry, but you guys are 2, and you're sitting at a table for 4, and we got this group that came in. Would you mind, like, could you please do us a favor moving to the bar, and then we'll give you more shots for free?" And we're like, "Okay."
No Mexican says no to free shots.
Never. So we moved to the bar, and that's when we start getting more shots, because apparently they like giving Mexicans tequila shots. It's a thing.
Really nice people.
Really, it's a great culture. It's a beautiful culture. It's
beautiful.
Yeah. And then, so we're pounding it back there. We're having a good time. We're meeting people. Then we move to another bar, and I have the greatest tequila sunshine I've ever had in my life. Tequila Sunrise. I'm sorry. Tequila Sunrise. You remember that?
I just remember that place because at that point I was dead.
All right. And then we moved to another bar.
Was it the orange drink?
Yeah, that's a Tequila Sunrise.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Then we moved to another bar, and here is kind of where me and Eric started separating because I met a girl.
And I started seeing aliens, like, out the sides of my head. I got fucked up.
He got really fucked up.
Fucked. I think I drank, like, an extra tequila sunrise or something. I don't know. It was the mixture of all the alcohols plus, like, the sleep deprivation at that point. Because I slept nothing.
So Eric decides to leave, right? He leaves the bar. I still hang out there a few more hours. Then I go back to the room. I sleep a little bit, and we kind of wake up at the same time.
I actually remember I didn't go back to the hostel straight away. I did go into another bar because I couldn't find my hostel.
Solid.
And we didn't even go that far.
No, it was like half a block.
Yes, but I was dead.
All right.
It was like when Frodo first puts on the ring, He starts seeing just everything blurry. Everything looks like Satan. It's awful.
Sounds great. Anyway.
I had a great time.
So, wakes up the next day. Tell us about your hangover.
I mean, I don't remember most of it. I just remember having PTSD at this point. Because that day in Denmark, Copenhagen, I had the worst hangover of my life. And by far. And I've had some bad hangovers. That was the worst one.
That was the worst one.
Worst by far. Just tell them what happened after. Like, it'll show you.
All right. So, I woke up fresh as a daisy. I was feeling great. I was excited. I'm in Viking land. We were going to go see a Viking museum that day. So wake up, practically have to drag Eric to get some food. And then we get on a train and we're going to see a Viking museum. So I think at one point there in the middle you threw up, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I threw up like a couple times, yeah.
Yeah, so he threw up a bunch of times. We make it to the museum and I'm excited. I love Viking culture. I'm super excited. I'm walking around, like running, like, oh my god, Vikings did this. Check this out. Like, oh my god. Like the gift shop, I went nuts. It was honestly pretty bad because I wasn't planning on buying anything.
You didn't end up buying the horn, the drinking horn.
I did.
You did?
Yeah, it's in Mexico.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I still have it. Anyway.
That's good.
So I'm very excited, and we actually ate at a restaurant there. It's a very interesting restaurant because they use. The rule there is they could only use old Viking ingredients, but they made modern food, and it's like the best bread I've ever eaten. It was phenomenal. If you're ever there, do you remember the spot? Actually, no. Before that, I even skipped something. So when we were
you were complaining about the pictures tree I took, right?
Yeah. This fucker here can't take a picture to save his life. So throughout the trip, I'm taking pictures of him, and they're really cool. And it's like,
I have some great pictures.
He has great pictures, of course, because I have a good eye. And I took like a bunch of killer pictures of him throughout the whole time. This son of a bitch, because we agreed we're gonna just take pictures of each other, and that way we both have pictures.
I don't remember making this agreement.
We made that fucking agreement.
It must have been when I was drunk.
We made that fucking agreement. Anyway, the point is, he hadn't taken any pictures of me, and when we were trying to go to the museum, we had two options. We could take a bus, or we could just walk there. And go through like a scenic route. I'm like, all right, let's just walk there. We'll explore this little town, this quaint little like picturesque town. And so we
did feel like a fairy tale almost.
It did.
Really cool.
It's like really old. It was really nice. And so as we're cutting through this town, we end up cutting through a cemetery. So like this old Viking cemetery, and in the middle of it was was a gigantic tree, and I mean gigantic tree. And the first half is the normal tree. The upper half it was all carved. And it was carved with Viking runes, and it looked really cool. And I said, Eric, take a picture of me next to this cool Viking tree. This cool Viking tree with Viking runes. It'll be great.
And I did.
He took a fucking picture of only the bottom fucking half. So it's me standing next to a random ass fucking tree. Like, there was nothing that differentiated that tree from any other tree.
Well, actually, that's not true. If you look at my picture with the tree, and then you compare it with yours, you can see that it was the same tree.
Yeah, well, fuck you. I made him retake that one, fortunately. It was still crooked, but whatever. We crossed to a giant church, through a giant square. It was great. It's a very beautiful town. We made it to the Viking Museum, and then we're like, all right, let's head back to the hostel, right? We've had some culture. And when we're back at the hostel, I tell him, you know what? I'm a little tired, so let's just take a quick nap. And afterwards, we'll go out and party again. And Eric's like, that's kind of what he said. That's kind of what it sounded like.
I never sound like that.
I took that as a, sure, great idea, brother. So I take it it wasn't even like a short nap. It was like a 2-hour nap because it was super early. And we were we kind of did overdo it the night before. So I get up. And I'm like, all right, I take a shower. I'm like, all right, Eric, let's go. And he says,
I'm dead.
No, that's not what you said. You said, no. Like,
yeah,
well,
pretty much.
What do you mean, no?
I couldn't. I was physically exhausted.
But, dude, we're in Denmark. We may never be here again. Let's go. Let's go out. Let's go out and have fun.
I mean, if I had gone at that point, I would not have had fun, and you would not have had fun either.
But when are we ever going to be back here again? We need to go out and explore and have fun.
I mean, we could always come back, you know.
And I remember having this conversation, and I was getting angrier and angrier because
I was getting angry because he wouldn't let me sleep.
Because his excuse, well, like I asked him, what the fuck are you gonna do? Well, what are you gonna do? He's like, I'm just gonna be here on my phone. You're gonna be here on your fucking phone.
I didn't say on my phone.
Denmark.
I was gonna say I'm gonna be
fucking Denmark.
I believe my words are, I just want to be here suffering.
And so
by myself.
And so I'm pacing around the room, really stressed out because like I want to make sure that he is having fun too. And so I'm like, all right, Eric, all right, fine. Just join me at the hostel bar. Let's just go to the hostel bar. Let's have one drink. Just join me. You don't even have to drink. Just join me for one drink. Have some dinner, and then you can come back. His answer was,
no.
He kept saying no, and so you know what? Fuck you. You fucking suck. And I storm out of the fucking room. Right. And so
finally.
I leave the hostel room. I leave the hostel, and I'm just walking around the streets of Denmark, and it's cold, and I'm like steaming.
All right. I need to make a little caveat. Dario's a fucking maniac when it comes to traveling. Okay? He sleeps through half of his life just so he can have energy to spare on trips. Is a fucking lunatic.
We'll get into that because I'll never forget the way you said it. Anyway, so I'm walking around the streets of Copenhagen, and I'm steaming like, fucking Eric sucks. This fucking bullshit. Like, what the fuck is he doing? Wasting fucking money. And I look up and I see a sign. It's a beautiful red neon sign with yellow, and it says pizza. Right? It says pizza. And so I'm like, you know what? We're out here. We're on vacation. We only have each other out here. I'll send out an olive branch. So I pull out my phone, send him a text message that says, you want to go get some pizza? Fucking silence.
I was probably asleep at that point.
Silence. I think I saw the scene thing. Like, you know, like it used to have. No, it was like WhatsApp. So, no. What's up? The point is, I think I could tell that he looked at the freaking text message. Nothing. It's like, all right, fine, whatever. I'll eat my pizza for my fucking self. Then I go back to the bar where we were, the first bar we were the night before. It's like, oh, we know the server here, and I like that they have a shot deal. I go to that bar, and almost immediately I meet these two chicks. And so I text Eric, dude, I'm at the bar from yesterday, the one in the corner. I have two chicks. Come over. Silence. Dead fucking silence.
I did see that message.
All right. So,
honestly, I was persuaded. I was.
No, you weren't persuaded. You were tempted. You weren't persuaded. There's a difference.
All right.
So, nothing. And I'm like, all right, fuck this guy. And so I keep going out. I have a great night. It was an awesome night. I come back at like 6, 7 a.m. And as I go to bed, and then we wake up. And in the morning, he's already fresh and stuff. He's already awake. I catch up, and we're getting ready because that day we're leaving. We're leaving Copenhagen that day.
Beautiful place.
And as we're as we're having breakfast, I'm like, dude, did you see my text? Well, what the fuck? Why didn't you go? And his answer was, you know what? I was actually more tempted by the pizza than by the chicks.
I was like, you are not my fucking brother. We are not kin. Like, son of a bitch.
At that point, I was so far gone. Like, I was dead.
No.
That I was like,
shame.
Honestly.
Shame.
Honestly.
Shame.
Oh, you're referencing Game of Thrones now, huh?
Shame.
I was honestly so dead. And my head hurt so bad. But I was like, man, if you could bring me like a slice, that doesn't sound too bad.
Terrible. Anyway,
the worst.
So we walked around Copenhagen a little bit. We saw the castle. We saw, the Little Mermaid statue, which is really nice if you care about statues.
I drank the first and only Monster I'm ever going to drink in my life.
Yeah, and so we got on the train. Our train to Berlin, right?
Berlin.
Now,
we took a ferry.
No. The train led us to a ferry, and then we took another train.
Well, right.
Yeah. So it was actually pretty weird. The train ride wasn't supposed to be that long, but for some reason, we were stuck for hours because the rails were too hot. Like, we were in Denmark and the rails were too hot. What the hell is that?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, the games.
Oh, how dare you? This is my... Oh, how dare you? That's my game.
You gave me one of them.
Anyway, he dropped something. Doesn't matter. So, the train got delayed, and so we stopped by a 7-Eleven, and I see the 7-Eleven, and they have this deal. Like, Carlsberg or Carlstrauss. What's the name of the beer? Carlstrauss is from here. Carlsberg? Anyway, they have a special. 8 beers for like $5. Or the equivalent over there. And I was like, dude, this is great. Let's get this. Let's have some brewskis on the train, on the way to Berlin, all that stuff. His answer was,
oh, is this what this whole podcast is going to be like?
yeah.
This is how it's going down.
Oh, so, this man's just going, you just hear the bitch?
Yes.
This is what you're going to be doing all the time, just bitching?
You know what? If I don't say something that's correct, you can correct me. All right? So what was your answer to that?
I don't know. Probably no.
No. Why? Why would you say no?
Well, at that point, I was still a little hungover.
And I don't like beer.
Well, that's true, but even then, if I had been in a healthier state, I would have partaken.
And so by that
Which
point,
I did afterwards in the trip.
But by that point, I was really stressed out because, like, dude, I am older than you. I stayed up longer. I drank more, and I'm fine. How the fuck are you? Why are you still complaining about this? Why the fuck are you ready to go?
He's a fucking maniac.
No. And his answer, I'll never forget this. And because we're stressed out looking at each other because I think we're sitting at the dining cart, and he looks at me, puts his hands out, and is like, "Yeah, because you're fucking insane." Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Do you remember that moment?
I had to stand up, look you in the eye, and just say, like, "You're fucking insane." Jesus fucking Christ.
Anyway, needless to say, that was not a very productive conversation.
Honestly, that train ride in Berlin was probably one of my favorite parts of the trip.
No. The afterwards part. We'll get into that.
The 9-hour one.
Yeah, that's the one that's afterwards. So
Oh, the one before, no.
yeah. So we're on the train, and we had some delays, and so we had a plan. And the plan, well, I had a plan. He was just following along in my plan. I wanted to
Which
stop.
makes me a great travel companion.
What I wanted to do, we've just established that you've been ignoring me the whole time. So, or enjoying my party plans. Anyway, so we...
Did you not have fun?
Shut the fuck up.
Son of a bitch.
We'll get to that. Okay. And so the plan was, all right, I don't really want to stay in Hamburg, but I want to eat a hamburger in Hamburg.
And
That was the plan. To me, that just seemed funny. And so afterwards, we have a stop in Frankfurt, and I want to have a Frank there. So that's like, oh yeah, I went to Hamburg and I had hamburger. That seemed fun.
And after stopping by Hamburg, I realized I don't want to stay in Hamburg.
Yes, because hamburger, let me tell you something about hamburgers in Hamburg. They suck. Is that fair? The meat is good.
The meat is good.
The bread is like a brick. It's horrible.
Honestly, all bread in Europe sucks.
Yeah, that's fair. Except the Viking bread. That was pretty good. But
I think I ate fish there.
Yeah, I think that's what you threw up afterwards.
No, it was good fish.
Really? It was like cheese, like fish puffs or something.
I don't know.
I don't know. The point is, the meat was good, bread not so much. And so we're like, all right, okay, let's get back on the train. Let's hop back on another train. And we couldn't figure out the stupid chart. And it took us a really long time. Then we finally find somebody who could help us. We're like, oh yeah, that train that's leaving right there. Like, fuck. All right, so when's the next one? That was the last one. Like, oh, fuck.
Yep.
And so we're like, all right, what the fuck are we gonna do? Are we gonna go somewhere else? What are we supposed to do? So I check out the internet, and it turns out that the family of hostels where we were staying at, there was one right around the corner. So it's like, all right, let's go to that one, and we'll just stay one night in Hamburg. What's the worst that can happen? So we go to the hostel, and we see maybe the most beautiful blonde woman I've seen in my life.
That woman was incredible.
Right?
God
right?
damn.
It's like not even human. Like, I was like even intimidated of talking to her. I still tried talking to her. It turns out she only spoke German, or she pretended to only speak German because she didn't want to talk to me. But it was like,
fair enough.
Wow.
She looked like the blonde from Battlestar Galactica.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes, I agree. I met her in person too.
Golden
Anyway.
goddess.
Yes. And so like this place
Kills babies.
This place is great. But and so I tell her, like, hey, you know what? Let's go check out the hostel bar here. Apparently there's like super hot ass blondes here. Let's go check out the bar. His answer was,
I'll actually add something here. I kind of did want to go out that night, but I said no just to spite him.
because he's a dick.
Well, at that point, he had been bitching so much about me being so, you don't want to do anything with me. He's like a nagging girlfriend.
First off,
No. So it's like
not
you never
doing
spend any
anything
time with me.
No, shut the fuck up. I don't complain like that. To me, it's like, let's just go out and do stuff. Let's just go. Because I want to make sure that you do stuff. I don't care about the company. It's more about you being out there and experiencing life. We're in Europe. You have to experience all these things.
I was experiencing a bunch of shit.
Like a hangover.
Well, I mean, that didn't help.
All right,
At
fine.
first.
Whatever.
I had a great time that night.
Point is, I went out a little bit. I had some fun. And next day, we get on the train nice and early after eating some more hamburgers without the bread.
And now let's establish this. After this point in the trip where I no longer have any jet lag, I have pretty much, my sleep schedule's pretty, it's fucked up, but I'm feeling better. I'm no longer hungover. We was good for the rest of the trip, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There was no other, and what did you say, moment?
Well, thanks for spoiling it.
Spoilers, by the way.
Anyway, so we get on the train to Berlin, right? And
Berlin.
and this train was kind of a longer one, and
It was 9 hours.
yeah, but we get to chat, and it turns out that he's writing a story for his D&D campaign. I like stories, so I really get in there. I'm like, oh, you should do this. Like, how about this? No, that's a plot hole.
Yeah.
So we start bonding and stuff, and we arrive in
And
Berlin.
there's, like, of course, the beautiful German scenery, you know?
Of course, yes, of course.
And we also found out that if we kept ordering food in the diner, we could stay at the diner. And those tables were big and the benches were long, so it was much better than staying at our seats.
Yeah,
So
it
we
was
just
way
kept
more
eating
comfortable.
for 9 hours.
Well, I think we just kept getting chocolate milk, and I got some beers.
I got coffee, yeah.
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 Then did I get the chocolate milk?
It
Then
sounds
the
like
beers?
it sounds like a you thing, yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
I think I had one beer.
There you go. There you go. So
He's getting into it. Yeah.
Starting to not be such a little bit. So
God, the things I got to do to get you to stop whining.
So we make it to Berlin, and Berlin is a phenomenal city. Phenomenal city if you're in the right side of it.
Beautiful.
So we start moving around. We go to the hostel, and we go exploring. We go see a Holocaust memorial. We just walk around like we go
Yeah,
see.
love that.
Yeah, we went to see some museums, like some general streets and stuff. It was a great city. And at night,
Yeah, we went to the what was it? The Berlin Wall, or a remainder.
remains of the Berlin Wall. We did a lot of stuff there. But at night, we were like, all right, let's. Well, we asked the people at the hostel, like, where's the bars in town? Where do we go? They're like, all right, go to this area. So you take the train and you go all the way out there. Now, at this point, I should mention, we were not sure if we could use the trains with our train pass, because there were certain rules for the train pass, and we don't know if that included that.
And we don't speak German.
Exactly. And so we decided, you know what? I don't want to carry the train pass with me, but I also don't want to pay for a train if I already kind of have the train pass.
Yeah.
And so we just decided to get on the trains without paying, allegedly. And I remember my
I
strategy
have
was...
no recollection of this.
I remember that my strategy was, all right, we saw some cops get on, and they're like, all right, let's be near the cops. Because there's no way that the cops are going to... Because if we're near the cops and they ask us for tickets, we'll be like, oh, well, we have the train pass, so I didn't think we need anything. And they'll be like, no, you got it. And so they'll be like, oh, wait, no way that if they committed a crime, they would stand next to us. Or they'll be like, oh, these silly, dumb Americans.
Yeah.
So that was my strategy. And I wouldn't recommend it.
I always feign ignorance, you know?
Ignorance is good. It always helps out. Anyway, so we get on this train, and we get out at the right exit, and we start walking. And it turns out that the bars were a few blocks in. Like, let's say 8 to 10 blocks into the city, right? And these 8 to 10 blocks are, let's say, it has a large population of people on the streets. And let's just say that most of these people were not from the area.
It reminded me of TJ.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, honestly.
No, it was like...
And I can say that, by the way.
Yeah. It was a large migrant area. There weren't Germans there were migrants. And they were just kind of like, looked like gangs. And now...
I think there was like a guy like, hey, say, how you doing,
no,
Holmes?
And now, here's the thing. They were just kind of like cackling and harassing the women that were getting off the train. And so... Like, honestly, this is a feeling that that we're kind of familiar with. I mean, like, we grew up in TJ. We know what it's like when a criminal's looking at you. Like, they're looking at you like a mark.
They're eyeing you up, you know?
Yeah. And so I start doing the math. And I'm like, all right, so the train station and the bars, we have to cross to this area again later at night. And these are like hundreds of people, right? These are hundreds of people, and honestly, all males. And they're eyeing you like a prey. It's like you can tell when somebody is eyeing you just because like like random person, or somebody's eyeing you like, all right, they're sizing you up. They're like, all right, well, what we can take from this person and stuff like that. Unfortunately, we know criminals.
And we'd be like, well, I mean, these gypsy guys, I mean, they're pretty short, but there's like 100 of them, so I don't think we can take them.
And so I'm like, all right, so what's gonna happen here? We need to cross back through here at night when we've been drinking.
Yeah. And
so what's probably gonna happen? They're gonna like. If they jump us, then we're going to probably run deeper into the side of their town. Then we're dead.
We don't know the area.
We don't know the area or anything, so we're dead, right? That's pretty much it. And so I'm not liking the math.
This is the kind of mental math you do when you grow up in TJ.
Yeah. So I'm not liking the math here, but I'm considering, well, maybe you could take a cab or something else. And that's when Eric drops this on me. On our way to the bars, he drops this.
You're putting me on the spot here.
All right. He says, you know what? I'm just gonna be here for like an hour and then I'm gonna come back. They're like, what? Like, yeah, I'll just be here for like an hour or something. I'll, keep you some company, and then I'll just go back to the hostel by myself. And immediately, it took, like, in my brain was like, like my kid brother by himself walking through these streets, like in the dead of night. And then
it was the perfect excuse because he didn't want to stay there either.
Yeah, no, immediately, of course. And then afterwards, like a second alarm going like, like you walking through these streets at 4 a.m. drunk. Nah.
It's like me going back at like midnight is already like pretty bad.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna let him do this by himself. And I'm like, I really definitely don't want to do this by myself. So like, let's just avoid, because this. Maybe nothing would have happened, but it was immediately a not smart situation.
I wouldn't make the gamble.
Exactly. The math wasn't adding up. And so I was like, all right, you know what? Let's just... Also, there were... the people from the hostel had already been telling us about crimes and stuff like that. So, not good.
Yeah, whatever happened to that redhead?
Well, we'll get to her. And so I decided, you know what? Let's just go back to the hostel area, and we'll just hang out in the bars there, which is what we did. And I ended up getting in an argument with a chick from Amsterdam, because that's what I do when I'm drinking. And,
no, even when you're not drinking.
Yeah, of course, that's what I do. And we ended up...
We're doing a freaking podcast, and we can't stop arguing.
Well, that's true. And we both lived the same experience.
That's true.
And so we decided, all right, that's it. That's the night ended. Then the rest of the best of the Berlin trip was great. We went to see an opera about vampires in German.
That was freaking awesome.
It was awesome.
Well, it was a theater play, not an opera.
All right, but it was at an opera house. It was
the
name.
I think it was too small to be an opera house.
Vampire.
I remember that the person at the front of the desk when we went to get our tickets, I think she even asked us in English, like really broken English. She's like, "Are you sure?" Like
it's in German.
German.
Like, yeah, that's why we're here.
You speak Dutch. Spruce Dutch. And we're like 9.
We're experiencing the culture.
Yeah.
And honestly, I could follow the plot. I folled the plot really well.
It's
and there was nudity
plot.
In it. We did not expect
Didn't
that.
they have like a Mariah Carey song?
They had the main theme was like total of the night, total eclipse of the heart. Eclipse of the heart.
How did that?
It was something. It was the tune of Total Eclipse of the Heart.
It was the same melody.
It was great. The problem is that we walked out of there freezing, and it was cold. But all right, the point is Berlin was cool. Then we get on the train and we're on our way to Zurich. Yeah, but where a friend of mine actually lives, and so that's the 9-hour train ride.
Is it?
Yeah, that was the 9-hour train ride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we have to go through mountains and shit.
Yeah. I think I know.
And so at this point, when we're on that trip, like we're actually having a good time. We're talking about his stupid D&D campaign.
He loved it.
I was invested in it. And we're talking about other stuff. And at this point, Eric asked me like a question. It came from his heart. And do you remember what the question was?
No.
No?
No.
All right. He asked me like, dude, honestly, like, do you regret inviting me here? Like, and it came from his heart. And so I remember my answer. Do you remember what I answered you?
Are you sure we had this conversation?
We had this conversation.
On the train?
Yep.
Were we not talking about my D&D campaign?
Not that one.
Well, then I don't know.
All right. I told him, like, honestly, you annoyed the fuck out of me, but you're probably the only reason why I'll come back alive from this trip.
I was keeping him all grounded.
Yeah, it worked out. Like, because I thought, like, imagine me coming here with Felipe or somebody like that. We'd be drinking all day. Or like we stopped at 7-Eleven. We would have not gotten 8 beers. We would have gotten 80 beers.
And honestly, that has probably worked out for us in like during most of our travels, right?
That is true. Yes, that is a fun adventure. And we kind of figured it out. Eric needs one day to recuperate because he's a little bitch.
And Dario's a fucking maniac.
Yeah, and so I keep going out, but one day he goes out with me, one day he doesn't. Anyway, so we make it to Zurich. And this is where the fun happens. It turns out that we actually ended up staying on the Hooker Street.
Hooker Street.
Which also has a Hooters. Who'd have thought? Fun fact. fun.
I think we
fucking
only ate there,
fact.
right?
Yeah, of course. 'Cause we, dude,
At that-
we were
at that-
dying. We needed some wings.
At this
We
point,
needed
we
some
were
buffalo.
dirty Americans,
Dude, do you remember when we arrived in Berlin when we wanted some tomato soup?
and they gave us like tomato water.
No, they gave us like marinara sauce on a bowl. So
It was like,
we
close
wanted-
enough.
We wanted two things from the moment the trip started. I remember on the plane we wanted tomato basil soup. We wanted tomato soup, and for some reason they ran out on the plane.
No, it's the plane ride from Iceland to Copenhagen was too short.
Oh, so they didn't give it any food.
Yeah, they
We're
didn't
like,
give
oh
food.
man, some tomato soup sounded great. So when we stopped in Berlin, we asked for tomato soup, and they gave us literally marinara sauce on a bowl. That for them was tomato soup.
It would have been
German
better
cuisine-
if they just gave me a slap.
Yeah, German cuisine sucks. And then when we arrived in
The,
Zurich.
the actual hamburger was good though.
Yeah.
Oh, and we also had the Frank
No, that was afterwards.
after Zurich.
On our
Oh,
way-
we went back. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we had some wings there because we needed them. We needed some buffalo wings. Bonus buffalo
Oh
wings.
man, they were
And
beautiful.
So my friend, she gets off work. She catches up with us. She's like, oh, let me get you some drinks. And drinks, Zurich is fucking expensive.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was like we stopped at a bar, and my friend's like, "Oh yeah, Eric, I'll buy you a drink." Now, I got beers, and beers were like $6, 6 francs. He got.
I think,
was it rum and coke,
Maybe or like what is that, Paloma?
tequila and squirt, but I think they only had Sprite, so tequila and Sprite or something.
Or maybe a rum and coke. Yeah.
yeah, rum and coke.
I like mixed drinks better.
and it was like, oh okay, like 15 francs.
Which I made the conversion, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna sell my body. Good thing we're in the
francs.
hooker district.
Yeah, and and so I told my friend like, oh no, I mean don't worry about it. Like that's like, is he like, oh no, don't worry, drinks are cheap here. And that's the moment we're like, this fucking country has too much fucking money.
Yeah, they that was, you know how sometimes you'll start drinking like at a buddy's house, the cheap beers and whatnot to get you started,
Yeah,
para
to get
copiar.
you drunk and stuff. Yeah,
And then once you go out, you only get a couple of beers extra, or like a big drink.
yeah,
That was their place.
yeah.
That was their place. $15 francs. No, 15 francs.
Oh yeah, which is more than $1.
Was it francs in
Yeah, Frank's.
Zurich's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so from there, she's like, all right, now we'll go to like the party spot. And the party spot was actually pretty cool. Like you go to this house, and then you go into the basement, and then you go into the basement, and so you're like 3 levels underground, which you start feeling the earth over you. But it's a really cool spot. It's really tight, but it's cool. Unfortunately, there's a
pretty
room,
clean, too.
Yeah, there's a room where people smoke, which was just
Blah.
yeah, horrible. But the place was really cool. They served drinks in like Yoo-hoo bottles, which was pretty cool. I don't even remember what it was.
Yeah, they did like
But-
the whole setting the drink on fire and
Right.
shit.
But so we're there. I'm chatting up with my friend, and that's where Eric makes a friend. Tell us about your friend, Eric.
Well, we're drinking at this place. We're having a good time. We're taking some pictures. We're do a little dancing. It's like, yeah.
My friend Jazz, she's pretty cool.
They always play like American music, which I find funny. We're like dancing to Bruno Mars or some shit. I'm like, this
Exactly.
place is weird. Treasure. And all of a sudden, like, we're at the bar, and I think we're just getting some shots or something. And this place is getting really full at this point.
Packed.
Packed. Like,
It's the place to be.
it's the place to be, and I think it was like probably a Saturday or something, right?
Yeah, it was a good day.
So, this lovely, gigantic Frenchman, all of a sudden, he walks up to our group, like we were sort of like in a corner of the bar, having our drinks, talking with your friend.
And I need you to understand, I'm like 6 feet tall. My kid brother's like 6'2", maybe 6'1", 6'2".
You think you're 6 feet tall?
I am. When I went to the hospital last time, that's what they told me, and I decided to believe them.
Well, I think I'm 6 feet tall, and
I think like 6'1".
I'll take it.
Anyway,
On Tinder, I'm like 6'5".
anyway, this dude was like a head taller than him. He was a ginormous Frenchman.
he was a big boy.
Anyway, continue.
And you're in Europe. Your path is being blocked by a giant Frenchman. So you're like, what the hell? Let's talk to this
people.
guy. Yeah.
He seemed like a nice dude. He started talking to you.
Yeah.
He was by himself.
He's like, oh, and where do you come from?
Oh!
And we're like,
Costin American.
oh, you from America? And I'm
I
like,
don't care, I'm a French. I give cigarettes to babies, I don't care.
so I'm like, oh, well, we're from Mexico, actually. And like, oh, Mexico, that's cool. And then he starts asking me about your friend. Like, I think at this point, I'm mostly talking to that guy,
Yeah.
and you're talking to your friend. And your friend was pretty cute.
Yeah.
She is from Switzerland, right?
Swiss.
And he's like, oh, she your girlfriend. And I'm like, oh, no, she's just a friend, you know. It's my brother. That's his friend.
Friendly guy.
Yeah, we're friendly people, Mexicans, you know. Don't hurt me. I think I might have told him something like that, and he just couldn't understand.
Don't hurt me, you giant man.
And he was like, "Oh, okay, because your friend is she really cute." And I'm like, yeah, she is very, very pretty. And at this point, like, I think your friend like turns because she's like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, she's a sociable chick.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, it's a Mexican, Swiss girl, and a giant Frenchman trying to understand each other.
Yeah.
And we're all drunk.
Yep.
And the guy just sort of goes like, so, do you know what the gangbang is?
Do you know what the gangbang is?
And, you know, he was like a very, like a, what do you say, jovial? You know, guy.
Yeah,
he was very lighthearted, very like, but it's like his tone changed. It's like he lowered his head like a foot to be like, you know, eye to eye with me.
Like,
He's
he said it casually, and you laugh, and then he like it changes to no, seriously.
yeah. Do you know what the gangbang is? To which I'm like, oh, am I about to be a recipient of one? Oh,
Like, if I say yes, then he might be like, "Do you want to be a part of one?" Like, there's like trying to guess what's the right answer to do here.
I'm like weighing my options in my head. I'm like, you know, when in Europe, right?
Maybe if we're a little bit taller.
Yeah. Sorry, I haven't shaven today.
Don't go to the guy. Don't go to the guy. Don't push him. Don't push him.
But then he's like, sort of like, he gives me like this, like the Rock eyebrow, where he like points over to your friend, and he's like implying like, you know, we could do a gangbang, you know, with your friend. And I'm like, I'm just a poor Mexican guy. I want to go home.
Life has not prepared me for this moment.
Me no understand the English, senor. I apologize.
No, I think there was something. You looked freaked out. I remember that.
You know, that's one of those moments in life that just sweeps you off your feet. You know,
you don't see it coming. You don't see a giant Frenchman asking you about gangbangs.
Yeah.
But I think it was the fear in your eyes that led to his answer. Then he immediately tried to explain.
Oh yeah. I think he understood that I was like I had some concerns.
Yeah, he was really freaked out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I think he just went like, oh no, I mean, do it with your friend or something. You know,
he's not gay. He's not gay.
Yeah, he's not gay.
He's not gay.
He's not gay because we doing the woman there. You know, it's like we wouldn't even be touching. You know,
He's not gay. He's not gay.
we don't have to touch if you don't want. And I'm like, and he's like, I bring some of my friends. And he points behind, and there's like a couple more Frenchmen, you know, like wave to us, and I'm like, you know, let's ask. And which is when I turn to Dario at the bar, and I tell him in Spanish, what is going on?
I remember how he walked up to me, and I'm gonna try to imitate him as well. I'm gonna try to imitate exactly how he said it. He walked up to me like, Dario.
No mames.
Este cabrón me está diciendo que quiero hacer backhand. No mames. Y yo dije, ¿qué?
Él se quiere coger a mí. Y me quiere coger a mí.
And so So, I remember being very confused, and I look up, and he looks at me and he waves.
To the point we're getting the fuck out of here.
So I was like, you know what? I think I was like, no. I did like a no sign, or did I say no? I don't share. And then was like, let's just. I think this is a good time to leave.
Yeah, maybe it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we left from there.
Like the guy, honestly, like the guy wasn't like pushy at all, and if anything, he was a little too direct.
I'd say so.
Maybe, but you take your shots.
Of course,
right?
You know, I respect it.
I do. I do.
And we had a lot of fun with that for the rest of the trip.
Oh my god,
Like,
it was
hey,
awesome.
Hey, can you hand me this? It's not gay. It's not gay. All right, it's not gay.
And honestly, I had like that millisecond where I was like looking at the situation, and I look at your friend, and I'm like, well, she is kind of cute. Wait, never mind. What?
Not with Frenchie.
Not with Mr. Frenchy man over here wanting to like give me a French kiss or something.
That would have been really weird. Especially
Which is just a regular kiss to
I
them.
think it was really weird because he approached you. That was the weird part.
Well, it's because he needed permission.
Of course, but why not approach me?
I mean, I guess he thought I was a boyfriend.
Or I guess, why not approach her?
Because he's a pussy?
Yes.
Well, maybe. Well, I think it's if you're doing a gangbang, it's something you need to clear up with the boys first, right? Otherwise, you're just fucking regularly.
I guess. I don't know, but yeah, that crazy French guy gave me one of the greatest moments of my life. Seeing Ari freaked out like that, and
it was one of those things where like
you know what the gangbang is.
The humor and everything was not lost on me, so I think I was just smiling the whole time, a little freaked out. I became the Joker at that moment.
Oh man, it was great. It was great. So anyway, that's where that story comes from. Do you want to finish the rest of your story?
Might as well.
All right. Okay. So after that, we decided. I think we stayed another day in Zurich.
She got us some falafels.
Yeah. What's it's
gyro?
No, it's a Turkish food. It's kebab.
A kebab.
Yeah, we had a like spicy kebab.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was actually pretty great. And
I felt bad because she kept buying us shit.
They make a lot of money there, apparently.
Oh, I know. It's just in my DNA.
I know. I get it. They make me feel uncomfortable too. But we offered. She kept saying no. I was like, all right.
Everything was stupid expensive, so I'm like, it's okay if you want to keep buying.
Actually, this was hysterical. We stopped at a place and we were gonna get hot dogs. This was the next day. She went to work and we just went exploring the town. By the way, the middle of the fucking day. The middle of the day. It was like a Tuesday. So work. No. It was a Monday. I think it was like, and it was the middle of the day, and there were just people out at the park hanging out instead of being at work. I was like, what the fuck are these people? How much money do they make? And then every single restaurant packed with people. Every single one.
Yeah, it's like they only worked half a day or something.
Yeah, it's really weird. But it's like, how do you have so much? Because you're all eating out at restaurants in the middle of the week, and these places are expensive.
Very much.
So we stopped at a place and we got a hot dog. And as we're getting the stuff,
oh my god, I just remember this.
My brother, he grabs a ketchup pack.
No, a mustard pack.
A mustard pack.
One. I grab one.
One mustard pack at the hot dog place.
I tend to pour like 3 of them bitches.
Yeah. And the girl at the counter says, "Oh, that's 1 franc for the mustard." And do you remember what you said? Well, first off, his eyes got super wide.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I was like, I looked up. I looked down to get the money. So I'm paying for the hot dog. All right, so how much is it? And she's like, like 5 or 15 francs probably for the hot dog, and 1 franc for the mustard. And I just sort of like look up like with the money in my hand. I'm like, and I give her like just this look of. I was honestly shocked. I was like, what? We gotta pay
like $1 for a packet of mustard.
More.
And so this girl sees his face.
I was like, what?
And she takes pity on him, and she's like, you know what? It's fine. Don't worry about it.
She's like, it's fine. Just take the mustard.
You poor Mexican son of a bitch. Just get out of here.
To which, outside I'm like totally embarrassed about it. I'm like super grateful. Inside I'm like, score. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Saved 1 franc.
1 motherfucker.
Yeah. Zurich is expensive,
but it's beautiful.
It's a beautiful place. Honestly, that lake looks beautiful. Go in the summer. Huge. Anyway, from there we take a train to Frankfurt because I wanted a franc. Like that was my objective. I wanted to eat a franc in Frankfurt, right? And so,
They were pretty good.
actually, they were pretty impressive. They were
The
pretty
bread
impressive.
still sucked,
It
but
did.
that
It
was
did.
par for the course.
Yeah. And from there, we took a train to Amsterdam.
Oh boy, here we go.
And-
We gonna see some hookers.
Amsterdam was pretty interesting. Now, this idiot hadn't done a second of research about Amsterdam.
I
And-
knew
and
they
by
had
a
hookers and drugs.
And by a second, I mean a single fucking second
And
of research.
this idiot had not ridden a bike in like 15 years.
What does the bike have to do with anything?
Because we were riding a bike in Amsterdam and you were dying.
I wasn't dying.
Yes, you were.
I wasn't dying with the bike.
You were like going like side to
I
side and
wasn't
shit.
dying. The point is,
I was like taking pictures.
Yeah, we rented out some bikes, and for those of you who don't know, I am allergic to marijuana. That is a thing that I'm allergic to.
And I have asthma, so I just don't smoke.
And for those of you who don't know, pretty much every single drug is legal in Amsterdam, particularly marijuana.
The Mary Jane itself.
And I remember we're on the bike, and there was one point where as I'm riding it, some dude just throws out a puff of smoke, just one puff of smoke, and I go through it. And at that point, I was like, Eric, I think we need to stop. And Eric's like, okay, great. And we stop at a coffee shop. He gets a coffee.
Oh, that was delicious coffee.
I like a stout, and I feel like I'm starting to die. Like, die.
And I'm feeling great,
Eric's
by the
feeling-
way.
he's
I'm
just
feeling great.
Eric is like,
And I'm just smiling, look at this poor sucker. Oh, you feel bad?
I'm like, Eric,
Aw, so
Eric,
bad.
we're on the other side of fucking town. I need to make it to the hostel alive so I can get more fucking allergy pills because I'm dying here. I'm dying. This is brutal.
I'm just all right.
So he finishes off his coffee. I finish off my beer, which by the way was a fantastic beer.
Yeah, we originally wanted to see the Anne Frank house, but I think
Yeah.
the line was super long, and you
Yeah.
were feeling like shit at that point.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck this. Let's just go back to the hostel. We'll go out at night. So we make it to the hostel. I take like 4 fucking allergy pills, and I pass out. I just pass out.
In what was probably my favorite hotel out of all.
Yeah,
of
it
them.
was like a capsule thing. It was really weird.
We had people sleeping on top of us, but it was like a different room.
Yeah.
It was weird, but I liked it.
It was modern, very modern.
Very, very, very beautiful.
And so I wake up later that day. You know, I think I sweat most of it out, but I still felt horrible. But I'm like, no, I'm in Amsterdam. There's only 2 things you do in Amsterdam. You go see the hookers and you smoke pot. Now I can't do one of those, so I can't miss out on the first one.
You already did the secondhand version of it.
I guess. And so I was like, all right, Eric, my plan is I'm going to go take a shower. And when I come out of the shower, depending on how I feel, we'll decide if we go out and see the hookers or not. And Eric is like, sure, whatever. Because he saw that I was like dying. And he's in pajamas or something. He's like, whatever. He didn't think that I was going to make it. So
I mean,
I
I was indifferent. I wanted to see the hookers
yeah. I come out of the shower. I walk
because
into
of the culture.
Yeah. I walk in the room. Eric is ready to go. He's,
I'm like, what took you so long?
he's sitting on the bed, fully dressed, shoes on, ready to go.
I'm showing him my phone where I'm like, look at all these spots.
No. Before that, he's just like sitting there like quiet. He kind of looked at me come in, and and I don't say anything because I immediately know. And I'm not saying anything, but as I'm trying to change, Eric is like, so, did you know that they have this here? Did you know? He starts giving me all these fun facts about the hookers in
So
Amsterdam.
first he complains that I do no research. Then I take time out of my day to do some research, and then he's all like, oh, now you're doing research. I'm like, oh, just, excuse me. Nothing makes this guy happy.
And he's like, all right, well, I mean, I knew that no matter what, you were going to want to go, so I figured, I start doing some research, and then...
I took the bullet on that one. You were feeling pretty
He's like,
bad.
Did you know that you can't take pictures because they'll come out, take your phone, and throw it in the river?
Do you know that like half of them are like kindergarten teachers?
And so I'm like, all right, fine. I'm like, all right, this is good. He's into it. And so we go out, have some dinner, and then we go to the red lights district.
And the funniest thing I found about Amsterdam is, I think first we went to like a Hard Rock cafe to eat.
Yeah.
Like earlier in the day. The waitress there, when we asked her where do you recommend that we go, she's like, oh, red light district.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting,
interesting
thing.
Legit, like, what are the things that you think we should do here? Like, you should check out the Heineken, you should check out the red light district, and you should go smoke some pot.
Yeah,
like, those were like the three things.
Which is, I mean, it's not generally the
not
first suggestion I give.
Not the museums, not any of that stuff. Like, you should go check out the red light district.
Go see the hookers.
Yeah, and
like,
so we go there.
You know,
and
she says so.
I mean, me and Eric, we're from TJ, so we grew up in a hooker town. This was the NFL of hookers. Like some of these chicks, you'd be like, "Oh my god, you should be a model in America." Like, what the hell are you doing here? I mean, this is like, it's weird. And then Eric had an epiphany about what ruins the red light district. Do you want to share that?
Oh yeah. Oh, I actually do remember this. Well, the thing that makes the red light district so fun is that, I mean, you going around, you know, with the boys, and you know everybody's drunk, and the chicks are like waving at you, and you know they're
window shopping hookers.
Yeah, they're waving their titties at you, and you're like ah, you say hi back and all that. What I think ruins it a little bit is the fact that they made it a actual tourist attraction, because, and this is gonna sound a little sexist, because it is the women, the women tourists ruin the fun there a little bit. Because
you'd be ashamed.
Well, it's because, I mean, you know, when it's just the guys, you know, it's like everybody's being like all crazy and everybody's having a good time. But, you know, once they made it a tourist attraction, people started coming with their girlfriends or their wives or their, you know, grandmas.
You feel judged.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't go in there. It's like a girl might see me.
Yeah. And I saw like in a couple of because it's a long freaking, it's a long street. It's a big block and everything. In a few of them where there weren't many people around, you would see that kind of thing where it was like, I don't know, a bunch of young guys sort of like pushing one of their friends in, and you know they're all drunk and having a good time, and the chick's like, you know, waving the titties, and I'm like, haha. So yeah, I could see that could be like a lot more fun if they didn't push it so much to boys. They should make it just the boys.
Would you have gone in if it was just boys?
Yeah, probably.
For the culture.
No, for the hookers.
Oh, okay.
Dude, some of those chicks were hot.
I tell you, that's the NFL of hookers.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, look, I was already spending a hell of a lot of cash, so I'm like, you know, might as well.
Might as well.
Might as well.
Yeah. All right. So then we left that hellhole of a town that almost killed me. It was a lot of fun. Like the party scene there was fun.
Had a great time.
Had a great time, but it's a dangerous city. At least for me, it was dangerous. And
not for me. I would go back.
From there, we went to London, and I think London was your favorite part, right? Well, actually, no. We had an incident in Brussels. So we went to Brussels like a couple weeks after there was a bombing at the train station. You remember that?
Yeah. It was Was it that same train station?
That was the exact same train station.
Yeah, I think it was literally a couple days earlier or something.
I think it was a couple of weeks. But anyway,
maybe a week.
There was an incident, a terrorist incident in that exact same train station. And so we're getting
here come two
Mexicans,
two foreigners with like big bags and
we had a lot of
carrying
bags.
a bunch of shit.
And so when we get on the train,
because there's a train that takes you like under the sea to London, which that was the most disappointing part for me of the whole trip.
Did you expect it to be like a glass or something?
I expected it to be cooler. And
it's a tunnel.
Well, I thought they might have like, you know, some under the sea cool kind of shit. It's a tunnel that goes under the ocean. That's cool.
Yeah, you're just an idiot.
Hey.
Anyway, so
it was disappointing.
We're getting on the train, and all of a sudden we hear like from the speaker say like, "Hey, if anybody left a blue plastic bag, come to cart number 1." And all of a sudden, like, oh, well, I had a blue plastic bag, but it's right here. And now that bag was filled with candy, but you couldn't see through it. And so my mind starts spinning. And I mean spinning. Because it's like, I go to security, cart number 1, I'm like, all right, I'm assuming they have cameras there, and I'm assuming somebody saw me with the blue bag, but I left the bag by itself in a train station that just got bombed. Like my mind starts racing and racing and racing. And what is your reaction to all this?
Well, I'm like, don't worry, bro. I'll hold the train for you.
Now we're already on the train, and so like, all right, okay, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? What can we do? Like, all right, fuck. Because I mean, if they check the tape, they'll see it was me. Like, they have to check the tape. I was the one with the blue bag.
Yeah,
No,
I think I just said just leave it, right?
Yeah, it's like, just pretend like nothing happened. Just pretend like you didn't hear it. Just pretend like... So I'm freaking out, and my mind's racing. I'm like, all right, okay, I'll just get on the train. As soon as the train starts moving, then I'll go to cart 1 and be like, hey, it was me. But that way they can't kick us off the train. The train's already moving. All that stuff, right? And so I'm thinking, like, America rules. If you leave a bag unattended, they'll just destroy it, and then you might get in trouble. Because you're an idiot.
Sure.
And so I go up to security, walk all the way to cart number 1 with my tail between my legs. And I'm like, oh yeah, I heard an announcement about a blue plastic bag. And Carl, I'm very sorry, I forgot. The security guy looks at me like, oh, here you go. Just hands me the bag.
Yep.
And I'm like, this you just got bombed. You literally just got bombed right there. The security in this place sucks. But
He's like,
I
we're
mean,
not gonna get bombed by a bunch of candy.
Yeah,
Which is what we had.
It's diabetes,
Oh.
But fortunately, like, I got lucky there. But I freaked out for a good 10 minutes. I was freaking out. Like, I'm gonna get arrested, and I don't want to get arrested in Europe. I don't know their laws here. I don't know if I have any rights. So
I was pretty chill.
yeah, because you weren't gonna get arrested.
I was excited for the tunnel.
Yeah.
Then I was disappointed.
Exactly.
Maybe that was my punishment.
And so we made it to London. And we stayed near King's Cross Station. And for those of you who don't know, King's Cross Station has 9 and 3/4, which is the Harry Potter store, which is fan-fucking-tastic. Anything you want Harry Potter, you can find it there. And that's where I bought a copy of all the Harry Potter books, because to me it's like, if I'm going to buy the Harry Potter books, I want to buy them in 9 and 3/4 at King's Cross Station. That's where I want them from.
Yeah, and it's much better than the gift store they have in what is it? Hollywood?
Yeah, Universal Studios.
Yeah, Universal Studios.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Like, if you're a Harry Potter fan, that's where you want to go. So, London is actually the one place where actually Eric wanted to do things.
Yeah, because I'm a really big I'm a musician, and I'm really into the Beatles, and I wanted to see, like, one thing I wanted to see. I wanted to go to Abbey Road. I kind of just wanted to walk the same streets as people like David Bowie and Paul McCartney.
This is the first time because we went to Abbey Road, we did the walking picture and all that stuff. We went into the studios, and then I was like, oh, let's just walk around, because I think there's like a cafe near here.
They were Pink Floyd recorded "Wish You Were Here."
Dude,
right there.
The first time in the whole trip, I saw Eric be excited. Like, man, like we walk in. David Bowie was walking down here. He was smoking a cigarette. And thinking of this lyric. Like, man, this is great.
Like, what if John Lennon wrote, like, Imagine, like walking down the street. I was excited. It was wonderful.
Yeah, it was great. London was great.
I would love to go back.
It was great. It had. I think we left a lot of meat left on the bone there.
A lot.
Yeah, there's a lot.
We barely did anything in London.
Yeah, I mean, we went to museums. We went to the Harry Potter stuff. We went to see Abbey Road. We went to Shakespeare Theater because we wanted to see a play. We wanted to see a play with Shakespeare. We went to the boat. What's the name?
A pirate ship.
The Golden Stag. I don't know. Oh, what's the name of that ship? I don't know.
Is it the place where you bought the Romeo and Juliet and all that?
No, that's Shakespeare's Theater. But
it was like right next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot. We saw Big Ben. We saw Parliament. We saw the castle, Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
It was great. Honestly,
the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do in London.
We could actually talk to the people there.
Exactly. So I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. We left a lot of meat left on the bone. I wanted to go see Stonehenge, but we didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
And then at this point of the trip, Eric starts... Oh, and Eric also probably enjoyed that people just yelled at each other, "Oi, you cheeky cunt!
Oi, mate!
Oi, mate! The fuck over here, you cunt!"
And I'm like, this place is awesome.
Yeah, I can just yell out, "Cheeky cunt," and nobody cares. It's great.
I'm like calling the waitress a cunt. Hey, cunt, get over here.
The bars were great, by the way. The pubs.
And the people were actually pretty cool.
Yeah, they were pretty nice. Horrible teeth, but really nice.
And
so we actually stopped. We stopped and had tea at a very fancy place.
Very lovely tea. Afternoon tea.
Of course, it was raining, and we did not want to get wet.
It apparently always is raining.
It's really annoying. And so, it was raining. We got wet. Kid brother here gets sick.
No, that's not when I got sick.
When did you get sick?
on the plane ride back.
Well, that's when you started getting sick, you idiot.
No. I remember exactly when I got sick.
Okay.
We flew. What did we fly directly from London to Boston?
No,
or
we stopped at Reykjavik and then we went to Boston.
Yeah, we went back to Iceland.
Yeah.
It was on the plane ride from London to Iceland.
Okay.
It was one of those things that I left the little air thing pointed directly at me, and it was the only time in my life I managed to fall asleep. And when I woke up, I could not breathe.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Just-
It was...
And Dad.
So, at the airport, he's miserable. And
Oh, yeah.
I mean miserable. Then, when we were in Boston, we had, like, a whole day to kill. And we actually were going to stay a night there. So, like, all right, we'll go out. We'll check out the bars here. We'll do something.
We actually did, right?
No, you didn't want to go anywhere. You were dead.
I think we went for dinner or something.
Oh, yeah. We went, I think, to TGI Fridays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, America.
America. Finally, American food. More wings.
Yes.
But that time you were dead.
Yeah, I did absolutely die. I was sick for a couple of days after that.
All right, so if you have to say, what's the highlight, what's the most memorable thing from that trip to you? And then after that, we made it home. We survived. We came back with adventures to tell.
Most memorable thing. Do you know what the gangbang is? I mean, that would be like the title of the. If I was gonna like make a novel out of the whole trip, that's the title.
That's the name of this podcast. That's what it's gonna be. Like, do you know what the gangbang is?
Oh, that's it. I mean,
It writes itself.
It's great marketing.
Or maybe it should be like, he's not gay. He's not gay.
He's not gay, by the way. No.
There's a girl there. He's not gay. He's not gay.
Jesus Christ. What would be the highlight? I don't know. I really actually did enjoy the long train ride.
Honestly, train is the way to go.
Train,
I love trains.
especially when you can stay at the diner, because I mean, the chairs were just. It was the long benches with like a big table.
Yeah.
Keep bringing you food
To me,
as long as you pay.
So what was your favorite part? Like, if you have to recommend to somebody, like, you have to go here for sure. What country or what city? Because to me, it's pretty easy. Copenhagen.
I would
love Copenhagen.
I would say Denmark,
right?
because I don't know. Maybe it's a little part of me that feels like I did leave a little bit of meat on the bone there. Maybe I did feel like I fucked up the first night by
Rookie mistake.
by getting too fucked up. You know,
mistake, bro.
I don't regret staying in after I was dying, but I do regret getting to that point. And I don't think I've ever been that drunk. Oh, well, I've been that drunk, but I've never been that hungover anymore.
No, well,
I've been better at.
You've learned. You drink water and you be responsible. And
Yeah,
shit.
but not in Copenhagen.
Not in Copenhagen.
That was my last mistake on that one.
Yeah.
And I would love to go to London again. Actually, Amsterdam too.
I don't want to go back there.
If I had to rank them,
I do not want to go back there. I'd go because I like partying, but I don't want to go back there.
yeah, if I had to rank them, Copenhagen number 1, London number 2, Zurich number 3,
Mm-hmm.
and
You got Amsterdam, Berlin.
I loved Berlin from a historical standpoint. It's just we didn't really go out much there. Like we went, we went to a beer garden, but I think that was in Zurich.
Yeah.
With you, yeah,
Yeah, with my friend.
yeah. So
I don't know. The thing that you were most excited for in Berlin, I remember it, is when we were at the wall, you're like, man, like right here, this is like no man's land. Like if
Yeah.
you walked here, like you'd be dead 50 years ago.
that is probably the most like impactful place that I was standing. I was like, man, like so many people walked through here, just like they died. So many people died like right where we're standing. That I got that feeling a lot in Berlin specifically because I was just remembering like World War II and all that stuff, and like people objectively died in the spot I'm standing right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's just a little impactful thing.
I got that feeling in Hiroshima.
I got that here. I got that feeling there
Well,
too.
you know what? We'll save Japan for another one, right? Would you be willing to talk about Japan for another one?
Yeah, why the hell not? I love Japan.
It was a great trip. But anyway.
And but yeah, I don't know. Probably Berlin, and then at the bottom Amsterdam. But it's. I mean,
Because you're not a drug guy.
but I am a hooker guy. It's 5 awesome places. Like, it's not like the number 5 is like a shitty place or nothing. All the places were great.
But to me, if anybody who asks me, I always be like Copenhagen. I loved Copenhagen.
I would go to Copenhagen, and then I would love to
Make a bike business.
Well, I'd love no, a bike.
A bike store.
A bike collection.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And then I'd love to take a train like to Russia and Poland and, you know, more like the eastern side of Europe. That'd be cool. But yeah.
All right, cool. Well, anyway, that's it. Well, I promised it a long time ago. You got a lot more than you expected.
Dude,
if you wanted it, good. If you didn't, well, then you suck. I don't care.
Dude,
we're gonna share it anyway.
He's always complaining that it's hard to make these podcasts like for 15 minutes, and we've been talking for like an hour 15 already.
It's because it's you're bouncing stuff out of somebody else. It's hard when you're just talking to yourself.
Well, you say that.
Anyway, thank you for joining me. Thank you for finally joining me here.
No problem. I had a great time, and I'd be happy to come back if
All right.
people enjoyed it.
At Super Dario Brothers?
And if they didn't
Super
enjoy
Dario Brothers podcast?
yeah. What would it be? I'm Eric Dario, and
Yes.
you're Dario Dario?
Dario. Exactly. we're following Super Mario rules here.
I mean, it is the last name, right?
Dario. What's your name?
Eric Dario.
Anyway, that's it for today. Any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can always find me at Dario the Show on Instagram or at SuperDario_World. As always, thanks for listening, and I'll see you again tomorrow.